Aljamain Sterling was on his YouTube channel saying that he has a torn bicep and that he might not make it. So, after a while, that goes around in the internet, and everybody, and fighters too, Aljamain contenders in the bantamweight division, as well as everybody, interpret that message from Aljamain Sterling that he's not gonna make it. When you say, I might not make it, everybody would think that you're not gonna make it. So then after a couple hours that news broke out, here's what Aljamain had to say. At Henry Cejudo, why you running, Tubbs? I never said the fight is off. I'm handling my bicep with the UFC team and doctors. You can wait another month to get your ass kicked, because if you lose to Sugar Sean, kiss your chance goodbye to face the real king. Now, Henry Cejudo easily replied with, stop hitting on me, I'm taken. Blowing kiss emoji. Aljamain Sterling had a problem with his torn bicep, and that he was not supposed to say that. He's not supposed to say he might not make it. Because how everybody would interpret that is that you're not gonna make it. If a guy tells you, oh, I'm running an hour late, I might not make it, he's telling you, lightly, that he's not gonna make it. Simple. If a guy tells you that, man, I only got a couple minutes for this conversation, means that he doesn't have a couple minutes, is that he only has a single minute. You have to cut that conversation short. So that's how everybody, including fighters, interpreted that message. And Aljamain Sterling made a big mistake saying that he got a torn bicep. He should have kept that to himself. You're not supposed to say that, oh man, I might not make it. I mean, that's what happened with Dylan Dennis. Dylan Dennis was saying that there's this whole, what was it called? I think it was like a hydration clause, something about that. And that was basically saying that he might not make it. A couple hours after that Chael Sonnen interview, he said that it was told that he's not gonna make that fight. Like in an interview with Chael, he was saying that there's this whole thing about the hydration clause and that he's having issues. Next thing you know, he's not gonna make the fight. You don't want to say, oh, I might not make it, because everybody would think that you're not actually gonna make it. The reason why Khamzat Chimaev is not being told that he ducked Nate Diaz is because why would he? He doesn't want to duck Nate Diaz because he would easily beat him. That's what a lot of people think, that Nate Diaz was gonna beat him. And that's why not a lot of people think that Khamzat was ducking Nate. Because people really thought that Khamzat was gonna beat Nate. But because a lot of people think Henry Cejudo will beat Aljamain Sterling, now all of a sudden Aljamain Sterling is like, oh man, I might not make it. People would assume that you don't want to make it. That's a massive problem with how Aljamain Sterling broke the news. You're not supposed to break the news. You're supposed to keep that to yourself. You want the fight to happen. Why do you say that, oh man, I got a torn bicep? You're not supposed to say that. Unless you don't want the fight to happen. which I don't think so because he just tweeted out that he wants to fight Henry Cejudo. Aljamain Sterling lost that entire thing, that entire back and forth. I mean, they were going back and forth. Sean O'Malley was in there. Like, you know that, like when you're in school and you got two guys talking trash to each other, and then one of them, which is not on anyone's side, says that, man, this guy kinda sucks. And then the other guy tells you, yeah, man, I agree with you, this guy sucks. And then that guy tells you, no, you suck too. You both suck. Like, that is what Henry Sugar Sean was doing. So now there's this whole thing, which, by the way, Henry Cejudo is totally winning all the back and forth. Or not all of it, but a majority of it. Right, you got Henry Cejudo starting off with, at Sugar Sean, you should fight Paddy Pimblett, the judges won't know who to rob. Then Sean O'Malley said, shut up and make me a burrito, which is a racist joke. I'll let it pass. And Henry Cejudo went, I'd make one for Peter Yan, but the judges will just give it to you. I mean, that's brilliant. Henry Cejudo is winning most of the back and forth. The problem is with Aljamain Sterling is that he said that, I might not make it. I might not actually make the fight. Well, for sure you're the underdog. As well as people hate you, so they would assume that you're ducking Henry Cejudo. And he wrote like this whole essay on why Henry Cejudo should fight him. He's like, man, I might not make it, but then hold on, don't leave, I can still fight you. Like, don't run. They made a mistake there. Like, he wrote this whole essay on why Henry Cejudo should fight him after saying that, oh man, I might not actually fight you. Henry Cejudo simply replied with, stop hitting on me, I'm taken. That's brilliant, I like that. Because if a guy, let me just give you a pro tip here. If a guy writes about 1,000 words on why he thinks John Jones is the GOAT, he writes 1,500 words worth to tell you why John Jones is the GOAT. And you simply replied with 2 words, which is, not really, you won. That's basically ignoring everything the guy said by going, man, not really. Like, if a guy gives you 2,000 words to threaten you, telling you that he knows your real name, he knows where you live, and it's all true, he knows where you live, he knows your real name, he's got a picture of your house, and then he threatens you, and he's got 2,000 words, and you give him back with 2 words with, oh no, exclamation mark. Give him 2 exclamation marks. You won. You're disregarding the threat with sarcasm. Because Henry Cejudo completely ignored what Aljamain Sterling is saying. First of all, of course, Aljamain Sterling was not hitting on Henry Cejudo. Maybe Henry Cejudo thought that because there was a peach emoji. Obviously, Henry Cejudo knows that Aljamain Sterling is not hitting on him, but he said that because that would give him the win. It's like you wrote this complete essay, and then the teacher just gives you a 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. That hurts. Write this 1,000-word essay and then teacher just gives you a 1 or an F. That sucks. By far, Henry Cejudo's winning most of the back and forth between Aljamain, between Sugar Sean. Henry Cejudo's winning a majority of that. But Aljamain truly made a bad mistake when he said that he might not make it. And then gave Henry Cejudo an essay when he could have just said, I can still make it. Big mistake by Aljamain Sterling when he said that, oh man, I might not make it. And then he just took it back with 1,000-word essay saying that, no man, hold on. You're not supposed to do that.